All right, the court is calling cause number 2019 DCM 6653. This is a hearing on a petition filed by the Attorney General's office. It is entitled a petition to establish the parent-child relationship. Parties in this case are Raul Lopez and April Gutierrez, who are present before me. Let's see here. I understand that the parties are now present before me. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I am the Associate Judge for the Title 4D Court here in El Paso, Texas, also referred to as the Child Support Court. Here. This matter is being live streamed on the YouTube channel. That is to comply with the Texas rules that we have to keep open courts available. I'm also recording the evidence on this computer-generated recording system. So I'll ask parties not to talk over each other so we can have a hearing on the case. Now, I would remind parties that they are present before me in court, so I'd expect both parties to conduct themselves accordingly. All that being said, then, at this time, I'll ask the Attorney General, Mr. Hargis, to make an announcement on this case. Mr. Hargis?
John Hargis for the Attorney General, Child Support Division, present and ready to proceed.
All right. Mr. Lopez, are you ready to proceed today, sir?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gutierrez, are you ready to proceed today, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and ask both of you, please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Ms. Gutierrez, I can't see you, but I am assuming that you are raising your right hand, ma'am?
Sorry, my signal.
Okay, all right. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Go ahead and put your hands down now. All right, Mr. Hargis, go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, the state offers what has been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit Number 1, the DNA test results in this case. Your Honor, if it's okay, can we submit the exhibit to you via email?
Yes, sir, go ahead and do that. That's fine. And pending receipt of that document, I'll go ahead and take judicial notice for the time being. And the results indicate what, Mr. Hargis?
Positive 99.999% probability of paternity with Mr. Raul Lopez as the father of Alaya Gutierrez.
Okay, all right. So the results indicate, Mr. Lopez, you were not excluded as the father of the child, and establish the probability that you are a father of the child, more than 99%, which is required under the Texas Family Code. All right, I'll go ahead and, once I receive it, I'll go ahead and admit that document. For the time being, I will take judicial notice that the results indicate that you are the father of the child, Laya Marie Gutierrez. Go ahead, Mr. Hargis.
The state calls Miss Gutierrez.
All right, go ahead. She's been sworn in.
Please state your name for the court.
April Gutierrez.
Please state your child's name
It's Aliyah Marie Gutierrez.
and your child's date of birth
11/24/08.
and the father's name.
Raul
Okay.
Lopez.
What's the full name that your surname for your child?
I'm sorry?
Let's see. What is this child's surname that you're asking for the child's surname to be? Well, disregard. Your child's already 12 years of age.
Yes, sir.
On the record. Does the child live with you?
Yes, sir.
Do you make the day-to-day decisions for the child?
Yes, I do.
Do you make the medical decisions for your child?
Yes, I do.
Is there any safety concerns as far
No.
as visitation for the father to visit the child?
No, sir.
Okay, do you have, is it okay with you to, for both parents to actively participate, making the decisions regarding your child's health, education, and welfare?
Yes, sir.
You're okay with joint managing conservatorship?
That's fine.
Okay. How often does the father visit?
He hasn't.
Okay, how long has it been?
Well, that's why I wanted to take the test first to see if he was the father of my daughter.
How long has it been since he visited?
He never has.
Since the date of birth of your child?
Yes.
They have no relationship even on the phone or anything?
No, sir. He didn't even, I don't even think he even knew I was pregnant.
Okay. Where does the father work?
I'm not too sure. At that time, I was with him for a little bit and then I left him and we never connected again.
Did y'all ever live together?
No, sir.
What kind of health insurance does your child have?
She has Medicaid.
Are you working, ma'am?
No, sir, I'm not.
Do you have health insurance available through any other source for your child?
No, sir.
Since the child's date of birth, has he provided any support for your child?
No, sir.
Has he purchased any items for the child?
No, because I don't even think he knew before that I had a baby. And I just wanted to make sure that he was the father.
Okay. Did you want retroactive child support?
What is that? Just regular child support, or how does that go?
You would go back 48 months,
Okay.
and whatever his child support is that he would, whatever the amount of child support that he would owe during that relevant period, we'd just multiply that amount per month times the number of months in that 48-month period. And then we'd have a judgment. We calculate a judgment and then set up a payment plan to pay that off over time.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Do you live in El Paso County?
Yes, sir. Well, I live in Horizon. I'm not too sure if it's the same as El Paso.
Okay. Do you want to be able to live anywhere with your child?
I'm sorry?
Be able to live anywhere with your child as far as any restrictions on where you can live?
No.
Are you okay just living here locally with your child, or do you want to be able to move away if you have
Oh, no.
opportunity?
I mean, I'm okay living here locally.
No further questions for Ms. Gutierrez?
Okay. Okay. Any other comments?
Mr. Lopez, state call.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. You've been sworn in.
Sir, please state your full name
Raul Lopez.
and the name of your child.
Alia Marie Gutierrez.
Do you want to actively participate in making the large decisions for your child, such as health, education, and welfare?
Yes, sir.
You heard the mother's testimony saying you've never visited the child.
I didn't even know like I had a kid, like not till recently, like in November of last year that I got a child support letter saying that I had a kid. but I never knew. Like we never kept in touch or anything.
Okay. Do you agree that the child lives with her mother?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, did you ever want to visit your child?
Yeah.
But you do want to visit, but you didn't because you didn't know it was yours?
No, like back then I didn't know. Like I didn't know I even had a kid off. That's like now.
In the throat.
Okay, going forward, do you want to visit your child, sir?
Yeah. Like from now on, yeah.
You have an interest in developing a close continuing relationship with your child?
Yeah.
And you think that's in your child's best interest at this point?
I don't know, sir. You know, like since it's been 12 years, like, you know, but like since I didn't never knew my dad, like I would want to know who my dad is, you know?
Okay. How do you think the child would react if all of a sudden your child were to come visit you for overnight visits?
I don't know, sir. Like she's already at an age that's I don't know how she would react. Like
Would you think in the best interest of your child to maybe uh, slowly or gradually increase the amount of visitation time between you and the child? Like,
yeah, yeah. I think that'll be like good, like slowly, like building up like a kind of like trust, you know, like it's like child has to trust the person first.
okay. But you'd like to slowly build that
Yeah,
relationship and eventually have it overnight visits.
yeah,
Okay. Are you working?
yes, sir.
Where do you work?
IMS,
INS?
IMS, Industrial Mechanical Solutions.
Okay. How long have you worked there?
About 4 months.
What do you do there?
Construction,
You work full time?
yes, sir.
And do you have an hourly rate?
Yes, sir.
What is the hourly rate?
$11 an hour.
$11 an hour?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you and the mom ever live together?
No, sir.
And since the child, in the last 4 years, have you provided any support for your child?
No, sir. I didn't know how to child.
Okay. Where did you work before working at
I was working at Carnitas Querétaro.
Carnitas Cantor? What was that?
Querétaro. It's a Mexican
What is that? What kind of business is that?
Mexican
Say that again, please.
Mexican restaurant. I was a cook.
You were a cook there?
Yeah, I used to cook
When did you start working there?
back in like last year, January of last year.
And when did you stop working there?
In January of this year.
And what was your hourly rate there?
It was $10 an hour.
Okay. What did you do before Carnita's restaurant?
Before Carnitas, I was working, let me see, I'm trying to think. At IHOP,
What'd you do there?
cook,
Okay. Have you been employed in the last 4 years continually?
yes, sir. It's just with this coronavirus, I didn't work for a couple months, but other than that,
Okay, so do you have any other children?
no, sir.
And do you have health insurance available for your child at work?
Not at the moment.
Do you have health insurance available for your child through any other source?
No, sir.
Okay, do you want the mother and child to live here only locally, or are you okay with it being anywhere?
Like I'm alright, like anywhere. Like if it's like for me, like the child's best interest, whatever she like, like I'd rather her like stuff like that, but I wouldn't mind as long as I get to go visit or something.
No further questions, Judge, for the witness?
Okay. Any other evidence or testimony?
No other evidence, Judge, just a recommendation after calculating child support amount.
Okay. All right, let me, I do have some questions from Ms. Gutierrez.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gutierrez, when did you let Mr. Lopez know that you were pregnant? Or did you let him know?
After I had left him in 2008, I didn't even know myself I was pregnant.
Okay,
So at that time, it took about 5 months to notice that I was pregnant. So I didn't even know. I mean, everything was regular with my body and everything. I didn't have no symptoms. And then, and that period of time, I was with someone else. So I had thought that he was the dad. That's when we had ended up taking a DNA um, to see if he was the father, and he was not. And then um, we had left it as like that. So for so long, I didn't really put Raul Lopez in, to getting a DNA testing.
okay. Well, when was it that you told Mr. Lopez that he might be the father of the
I was trying to find him. I wasn't even able to find him anywhere through Facebook.
Mhm.
Um, so time had passed by, and then that's when um the child support was trying to find him as well, and we just couldn't find him. We couldn't find him.
Well, Mr. Lopez just testified that he didn't know about this trial until last November.
They tried to get a hold of him through Facebook, and
Okay.
nothing happened.
Okay, well, my question to you is, did you ever tell him that he was the father of this child?
No, sir, because I wasn't able to find him anywhere. I think he did move to Colorado. I'm not too sure. And then from there, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Okay. And how do you feel about Mr. Lopez visiting with your daughter or his daughter?
Right now, I have a lot of emotions going on because she is older. Um, I did get married 8 years ago, so she does see my husband like her dad. So it's just kind of hard uh, to bring someone into her life knowing, that that's her real dad. So it's just kind of a lot for me right now. So I don't know I don't know how she would take it.
Okay. All right. No, I understand, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Lopez,
Yes, sir.
do you want to see your child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. She doesn't know you at this time. So how do you feel about how often would you like to visit with her? If it's going to be a limited time for the time being until she gets to know you, you get to know her, and Ms. Gutierrez is a little bit um, comfortable with you visiting with a child. How, given that background, how often would you like to see your daughter?
You know, like it's all up to you know,
Ma'am, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
she's it's like it's up to the child, you know, like she's already like 12, you know, like I don't want to just go in and be like, oh, I'm your dad, you know, like little by little, I wouldn't like couple hours, you know, like or something, you know, like just to talk, and
Okay.
then eventually, you know, like move on.
Okay. Do you have a day off anytime this week?
I'm off the weekends.
The weekends?
Yeah, I work from off Saturday and Sunday.
I didn't get that last part, sir.
I work from Monday to Friday, and then I'm off Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Would you feel comfortable with a couple of hours every Saturday, at least to start off with?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gutierrez, how do you feel about that? Of starting real slow on Saturdays? If, is your daughter involved in any school activities, sports, or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. So how do you feel about like on a Saturdays afternoons, spending some time uh, so she can spend time to get to know Mr. Lopez?
You know what? I don't know how to take all this because me and Raul, we had a talk at the courthouse, and we had even said both of us that he was gonna give up his rights so that way he won't have to deal with none of this.
Okay.
So it's kind of really bothering me now that he wants to, you know, see my daughter. But when I had talked to him before we left the courthouse, um, I had told him, um, you know, my daughter's already going to be 13. She does not know who you are. Yes, I would love to know. I would love to have her know who her dad is. But because my husband came into the picture 8 years ago, she's knowing who kind of like her dad is. Um, so I did talk to him, and he did say that if it comes to him being the dad, that he would, we would get an attorney and see if he can give up all his rights.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is, in this case, um, I'm going to have parties participate in this a program that's called the Access and Facilitation Program. Uh, it's a program through the Domestic Relations Office, and the purpose of that referral is to see if they can work out some sort of visitation issues. Um, and I'd encourage both parties to participate in that program. Because they're social workers. They're the ones that have the training on what kind of visitation rights would be appropriate at this time. So I'm going to refer parties to that program. There's no cost to that program, so there's no issue of any cost or anything like that. Um, so visitation will be, I'm going to refer parties to the Access and Facilitation Program, Mr. Hargis, for that purpose.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez, what I'm having an issue with is that Mr. Lopez apparently didn't know about this child. He was never told that you were pregnant. He says that he first found out about this child in November of last year. So it's hard for me to figure out what kind of back child support I would order him to pay if all that is true. I may just consider retroactive support to last November. Because that's according to Mr. Lopez, he didn't know about this child until then. He didn't,
They did try to contact him for a very long time.
okay, but did you ever tell him that he was the father of the child?
I was trying to find him like through social media. I wasn't able to get a hold of him. I tried to see if he used to live in the apartments before, and no. So I was trying and trying. I tried to let the child support know. They did try to call him through some numbers from work, and they weren't able to give them that information. So I mean, I didn't know what else I was able to do, because I do believe he did move to Colorado, and then from there I didn't know nothing about him.
Okay. Well, what I'm having difficulty with is, first of all, you thought it was somebody else was the father of the child. Then you're telling me that your present husband has established a relationship with your daughter, which I understand. It's understandable.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lopez is faced with the possibility of paying for back child support for a child he didn't know about. That's what I'm having difficulty with. Now, he's saying that he knew about this child or the existence of this child back in November of last year.
Hmm.
I understood, Mr. Lopez. Is that when you first found out
Yeah,
this
they
child?
they like the sheriffs like went to go take a letter, like a letter saying that I was a father, like to the house.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to limit retroactive support to November of last year, Mr. Hargis.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for either party?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any more questions.
Okay. All right. Now, I will find that Mr. Lopez is father of the child, subject of this lawsuit, based on the DNA results, which I did receive, Mr. Hargis. So they do show that Mr. Lopez is the father of the child and established the probability of paternity in accordance with the Texas Family Code. So find that he is the father of the child. I'm going to go ahead and appoint both parties joint managing conservators of the child. Ms. Gutierrez will have the primary possession of the child. As indicated, the visitation will be, parties are being referred to the Access and Facilitation Program. The child's last name will remain Gutierrez as requested. Let me see here. There'll be no geographical restriction. And let me see what else. Okay. Mr. Lopez, do you have health insurance available through your employer for your dependent?
No, sir.
They don't offer it, or you just don't have it?
Why? Since I just started, I don't know. Like, I guess I have to be there for a year.
Okay. And you said you're working at IMS, you're getting paid $11 an hour?
Yes, sir.
Are you working full-time, 40 hours a week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other income other than that employment?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, child support obligations, Mr. Hargis, what is the state's recommendation?
$317 a month. And then the medical support, cash medical support reimbursed the state at $86 a month. Both obligations begin November 1st, 2020. And I heard you say, Judge, that you want to go back 12 months.
Yes, sir.
Directed child support. Okay. Put my glasses on, sorry. Retroactive judgment, $3,716 as of today, with the $69 payment per month. And that obligation began November 1st, 2020.
Okay. All right. Court will follow the recommendation setting child support, medical support, and retroactive support for the last 12 months and payment on that judgment as recommended. All these payments commence on November the 1st. Mr. Lopez, all payments have to go through the state disbursement unit. So do not pay Ms. Gutierrez directly because you will not receive credit for any direct payments. They'll send a wage withholding order for your employer so they can deduct your child support, medical support, and payment on the judgment. Okay.
Okay.
So this all starts on November 1. Now, I can't tell you, Ms. Gutierrez or Mr. Lopez, as far as termination of his parental rights or anything like that, but I would suggest you contact the private attorney about
Okay.
that. Okay. Do either of you have any questions?
No, sir.
Ms. Lopez?
No,
Okay.
no, sir.
All right, Mr. Hargis, we'll go ahead and prepare the order. He will send it to me so I can sign it. Once I sign it, it'll be filed and y'all will receive a copy of the order. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. That concludes our hearing. Parties are excused. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. Have
you.
a good day.
Good.
You too, ma'am. Take care.